Something new, folks. We got all the things.
All the cameras.
I feel like one of those. I feel like a spider. I move my hand one place, I get it in 8 different screens.
I haven't gone live yet on Instagram.
Yeah, you have. Oh no, you're not. That's a ears. Checking connection.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. You are now
We are
live.
now live.
How come you can't see me? You don't want to see me? Are you ashamed of me for some
You
reason?
have all your technology on the desk.
That's what she said.
In the way. Oh, y'all are in for a good one tonight.
We are in a mood.
Okay, I gotta go live on Facebook.
You doing it all like you do it all? Oh, you don't go from Zoom to Facebook?
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm broadcasting, live streaming from Zoom.
From
to
Zoom.
Facebook.
Oh. But you have, oh, that's weird. I didn't know you had to do like another piece of thing to it.
Yeah, you have to click on it and then say what it is.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's Tuesday night. And as you know, Tuesday nights at around-ish 8 o'clock, I go live to answer all your questions about health and fitness for quality of life or whatever else you want to talk about. Obviously, not politics or religion, because that's not what I'm all about. We're going to talk about, what are we talking? Are we going to talk about anything? Or are we just going to see what people throw stuff at us?
Yeah.
So tonight's a little different.
Whatever
So after last week, if you missed last week, go back to wherever you're watching this from. If it's on YouTube, it's Facebook. If it's Instagram. And last week, Dr. Kiltz was kind enough to drop in and crash my Instagram. So we got to listen to it on YouTube and Facebook and had a great conversation about a bunch of different things. Tonight, instead of having someone on Instagram drop in, I actually had this person drop in.
The one who lives here.
The one who lives here. So she lives here. So I said, hey, she was normally tonight is your night to do.
No, normally.
Oh, yesterday, Monday nights.
Monday nights are my Monday night masterclasses, free masterclasses in my Facebook group. And it only streams in my Facebook group. And then the replay is only shared exclusively in my Facebook group.
Right.
But Bronson had this great idea for me to crash his party.
Crash the party!
And we could go live everywhere.
Yep.
And so we're doing this tonight in lieu of my Monday masterclass.
So no Monday class for her. So we're going to talk about whatever you guys want us to talk about tonight. So as always, this is about you guys. We're on my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook, and we're on Matt's Instagram
and my Zoom and Facebook.
So we've got people all over the place. We're blending the networks. Your circle and my circle have become one.
I need to make sure I can see the comments.
See the comments. Yes, I need to see the comments. So if you have any questions, like I said, this is all about you guys. We want to help you on your journey, get unstuck, filter out the noise, correct any misconceptions, bust some myths if you have any, whatever you need help with. Now is your time to ask. We got our first question or comment. Let's see. I just started a cable machine routine for my 60-year-old shoulders. Hold on, let's put this on here so people can see it. I keep forgetting that I can do this on here.
Oh, cool.
For starting, is twice enough to see gains? Okay. Depends on how you're defining gains, semi-retired Bob. The gains you may see may be initially in just improving the quality of your movement so that you don't get injured, right? That can be gains. If you're talking about getting bigger shoulders and building muscle in your shoulders, then yes, the more you use them and the more you stimulate that muscle, you're going to see growth. So I think 2 days a week, depending on your intensity, is probably fine. That's good for most people, as long as you're applying enough intensity. That's always the challenge. If you're doing more than 15 reps, I would say you probably need to go heavier and drop the reps a little bit. Try to go for maybe a challenging 8 to 10 or 8 to 12, something that's really hard for those last 2 or 3 reps. But that's probably pretty good. I think 2 days a week for most people is a good way to go.
I will pipe in and say, first, awesome choice. Cables are one of my favorite exercise equipment because you can get a lot of great resistance on both sides of the movement. It's going to be, in my opinion, more challenging than something like dumbbells or even barbells in some cases. So it's challenging in a different way, I should say. So I think that's great. And then secondly, you said just starting. So I'm assuming that 2 days is more than what you were doing before, in which case, yes, absolutely, you'll get better adaptations if you're doing more than what you were doing before. So if you always look at it like that, I'm a big fan of progressive overload, focusing on what did I do last time? Can I do more this time? Whether that's more intensity, more tempo, time under tension, more reps, more weight, pushing yourself in that capacity to get the kind of muscle building stimulus that you need.
Yeah. So you're doing 8 to 10 reps, Bob, you said that's a good rep range for general, both strength and for hypertrophy, for getting bigger muscles. Just make sure that you're getting intense enough. If you feel like you do your 8 or 10 and you could probably do 2 or 3 more, then you didn't go heavy enough. Go heavier, as long as your movement quality is not being compromised. Okay, that's always the kicker. Always focus on quality first, then you can add the weight and intensity. Okay. Let's see.
I have a couple.
You got a couple questions? You got a couple questions or comments? This is fun. We're gonna have questions and stuff coming from all over the place. We're like, how do we keep track of this?
This is a great one. You're
Okay.
gonna love this one because it involves InBody.
Okay.
Okay. I did
Love InBody.
I did my InBody check on home scale on Thursday morning last week and had one done at the fitness center that same night. Does it make sense that the number for body fat percentage are more than 7% difference?
Yes.
Other numbers are off too.
Yes. When did she do the first one? In the morning, right? Morning last week.
And then one at the fitness center.
Yeah. So
home scale versus fitness center.
Were both of them InBodies? It really doesn't matter if they were both InBodies or not.
I'm guessing that they were, because most fitness centers do use InBody.
Some of them do. Some of them use.
Although it could be one of those 360 ones.
It could have been a Renpho. It could have been a handheld. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So getting body composition scans at different times of day under different circumstances, before a workout, after a day of eating, before a day of eating, after drinking all day, or going all day when you haven't had enough drinking.
They are both InBody.
Okay. So there's a lot of things that go into that. Earlier in the week, your overall stress load tends to be lower than by the end of the week. So even if you do it on the same time of day under the exact same circumstances every day, you'll probably see a difference between Mondays and Saturday scans. So a lot of that stuff plays a difference.
Definitely morning to night.
Yes, it's mostly, when it comes to bioelectric impedance, it's mostly about hydration and inflammation. So making sure your hydration is the same, making sure your overall inflammation is about the same, which is why we recommend doing it at the same time of day, under the same, as close to the same circumstances as possible each time you do it. Yeah. But there are factors that will show some variation.
And ideally in the morning, ideally before eating or drinking anything, and moving your body. She said they were both before workout, both same day. Yeah, but morning to night is definitely going to be different. Nighttime, you're going to have all of your stomach contents from the things you've eaten that day, the water that you've consumed that day, it could be stress load if you've been on your feet all day. All of that is going to increase inflammation. Yeah. And I will say, even if it's not a body composition scale, you're always going to weigh more at night. Everybody weighs more at night.
Just how it works.
She said the one at the fitness center was better. So you mean like 7% less body fat at the fitness center one? Was your weight the same? I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Is it like the same weight, but just a wildly different body fat percentage?
We'll see. Keep that one on.
And this is another thing too. Even if it's both InBody, what do they call that? The commercial InBody
has a lot more. Yeah. So the technology, when it comes to the variations of a home product versus a medically certified product, a different level of technology, it's the same base technology. The difference is number of sensors, calculations, and all the things that it does. So I believe the home devices are 8 to 12 different set frequencies, ranges, speeds, of the electric, stuff like that. And I want to say the commercials are 16 to 18. There's just a lot more data that the commercial devices have to work off of to come up with the numbers. So there's going to be a little bit of variation. and the commercial devices should be a little more accurate. The variation between the two, I think, is much more related to the time of day than anything else. It would be more likely. That would be my guess.
Yep. And for tracking progress, like we always say, you pick one and use the same one. Because comparing against different devices, always going to be off, and then you're not sure which number to use. So just pick one, either one.
Just pick one and use it all the time. Yeah.
Don't get attached to what that number is, wanting to see a lower number. That happens a lot of the time. Like, oh, I want to go with the DEXA because it was a lower number. Well,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Your body hasn't changed.
Right, because it's what you're looking for.
Changed anything?
Yeah. The key to the key to any body composition scanning process is the set of numbers that you can see what against those numbers.
Basis.
It's not the numbers themselves, it's station in those numbers over time. So the trends matter more. So I don't care if you get on a scale that says you are at 50% body fat when you're actually 15. Okay. If it registers a 5% drop when you drop 5%, or a 5% gain when you gained 5%, then that's all I want to know is what's the variation between the two.
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter to me.
If you lose like 20 pounds on the scale and your home scale hasn't shown you any difference at all in body composition,
right,
you may need to take a look at if there's something wrong with your scale.
Absolutely.
But you're not going to see it with the first 5 pounds you lose. So don't get, I hear this all the time too. Like, oh, I think I need a new scale. I think I need to try this one. I think I need to try that one. I don't know if my home scale is right. Because they're not seeing the changes day to day or week to week. Yeah. It's not usually going to be that quick for you to see body composition changes. So if your weight is wildly different over a few months and you don't see any change at all in your body composition, then on the scale, then maybe it's time to look at a different scale. But for the most part, I always say take the data down and don't make it mean anything.
Yep. All right, we're going to answer this question. I'm going to let you take this one.
Oh, boy.
It's on my Instagram, guys. The question is, will Diet Coke affect my glucose? And I think they started off with, can we take Diet Coke while on carnivore? And go.
Okay. First, you can take, eat, or have anything you want. You're an adult. Right?
I'm glad you said that first, because I was going to say that first.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that goes for anything. If you're asking, is this carnivore? Is this keto? It doesn't matter.
Say that again.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what the rock is cooking. No.
It doesn't really matter if it's carnivore or keto. Why are you carnivore or keto? Why are you carnivore?
What are you trying to do?
Is that
helping you?
If you're trying to improve your health, I can guarantee you Diet Coke is doing nothing for you. You probably just want it because it tastes good.
And it might even be doing
damage.
Or making what you're trying to do harder.
Whether or not it impacts your blood glucose is not the question or the issue that you should be concerned about. Is it having negative impacts on me mentally, physically, emotionally? Am I able to move forward toward my goals while I'm including this?
Yep.
I just got this question from a client today, or a comment from a client today about, she took the soda out, she just let it come back in, and when she drinks it out with friends or whatever, she'll get a diet soda instead of drinking alcohol. Okay, is that a better choice?
Better choice.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But what happens for her? She tuned in, she checked in with herself, and she recognized that, hey, whenever I do that, I get ravenously hungry. I want to eat a lot more. It's a lot harder to control myself.
And there's actually studies that show that that's what happens. Drinking diet, sugary, sweet soda drinks, diet or not, increases hunger. And it makes it harder to sustain a healthy diet.
Any sweeteners in anything tend to increase cravings, can increase your hunger, can cause gut issues. The jury's not out yet too on other things that it might be doing to our health.
Right.
So don't say because there's no scientific study showing that it doesn't increase glucose that's a concern. Another thing too you can do is you can always for yourself. using a continuous glucose monitor or a blood glucose meter to see what happens to you personally.
Yeah. But
Which
even
you
even beyond, like, just what happens if you stop?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, they're looking for reasons not to stop something when they should be wondering what happens if they did. Because I guarantee you, I personally have not had a single client who stopped diet sodas or diet drinks who didn't see something positive happen after they stopped.
Yeah. Are you looking for
All the science, it's not going to raise my glucose. It's not bad for the gut, blah, blah, blah. Well, then how come you lost another 5 pounds when you stopped drinking it?
Right. When people ask those questions, they're usually looking for justification to keep this thing in their life, whatever it is. It's an addiction. And I always like to say anything I'm that attached to, except for this one, has to go. This is the only thing I'm keeping in my life that I'm attached to.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I think I have something.
You have something? I got like a bunch on my YouTube. Hold on.
I have one on my Zoom.
On your Zoom? Okay.
Kaya just says, I feel like I'm getting stronger. Haven't lost a pound.
Boom. There you go.
Right direction. Don't worry about the
weight
pounds.
doesn't mean anything. All right, let's see what we got. Other questions here.
I got another.
Is that your advice to build more muscle? I've just done one 15-minute weight workout. I plan on doing 2 more this week. All right, that's awesome. Get it, Sylvie. Let's see. Bob found a local trainer who says stuff like I would say. Way to go. I love it.
Ask yourself, would Bronson
say this? That's awesome.
Good to go.
Okay, let's see what we got. I got another one here. I'm 47 with a pudgy dad bod. My kids have forced me to join the local swim team, which allows any age 7 to 99. If I swim for 3 to 5 days per week, how often should I do weights to round out the entire program? Okay. I would say swimming more than 3 days a week is going to be counterproductive, and take those other 2 days and make them weight training. Bingo. You got 5 days total.
Always on the same page.
You got 5 days total. 3 days of swimming is going to be plenty of full body work. It'll be low intensity. It will be cardio. You're going to get a lot of activation, and you're going to be sore the first few times, especially once you really start learning how to swim and activate the right muscles and get that technique down. You're going to be sore. Add in maybe an upper day strength training and a lower day strength training, and you'll have a really good, well-rounded full body program. The other 2 days should be nothing. Okay. Make sure you're stretching before and after you're swimming, stretching before and after your weight training, and you should be on a pretty good track.
Happens in recovery. So you need that recovery time.
Yeah. No more than 5 days, guys. On average, anybody, here's another one that I don't know if I've said enough. On average, anybody who's just looking to improve their quality of life through fitness and exercise does not need 5 days a week of movement. Okay. Anybody that tells you every day, take a couple of days off. It's okay. Okay. Your body needs to rest, and overdoing it is the last thing you want to do.
Okay. I got one about reps, and it sounds like progressive overload. When doing reps, some say you should always do 2 to 3 more until failure. Is that always the case, or should you stick to the reps your coach gives you? How to know when to quit, go up a weight, or stick to it? Okay. If you have a program you're following from a coach, or you bought a program online.
Just so y'all know, this question she's been hammering me on it for like 3 weeks now.
Have I? I forgot. And this is the client.
Not me personally, but it's been a topic of conversation in the house.
That's right. I have talked about this. Yeah. Okay. So let's say, for example, I usually like to start my clients at a rep range. I don't give them specific reps until they've gotten some training under their belt, and then I will progress them into a more advanced program where I will give them specific sets I want them to do for reps I want them to do for every single set. But I typically start with a range, like an 8 to 12, for example, the hypertrophy range. If you're following a program that says 10 to 12 reps or 8 to 12 reps or some kind of a range like that, really don't like to see is clients going for 3 sets at the top of the rep range. What do I mean by that? If it's 8 to 12 or 10 to 12, they're doing 3 sets of 12. That tells me you can do more. If you can do 3 sets at the same weight, at the same reps, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. By that 3rd set, you shouldn't be able to do that same weight with those same reps anymore at the high end of the rep range. So I always want my clients to start at the lower end. So let's say you get to 12 and it's easy and you do more. If you hit 15 or 20, don't count that set.
That was a warm up.
That was a warm up.
That was a warm up.
Now you know, and you're going to write that down. You're going to track your weights. So next time, you know not to pick up that same weight because it was too easy for you last time. So if you, let's say you get to 8 and you can do more, keep going. If you can go all to 12 and your rep scheme says 8 to 12 and you got to 12, once again, if it's still too easy, keep going, and 15 to 20 is too many. But 8, and you can get to 12. Well, your next set, you're going to go heavier.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do the reps that your coach gave you at that weight comfortably,
yeah,
you need to go up in weight until it's difficult for you to do that.
Yeah. The idea of a rep scheme, guys, is it is the maximum, not the maximum. In most cases, it is a high level of difficulty to complete the reps at that number. Okay?
The last
2 or 3 reps
difficult.
should be, I'm not sure I can get these. You should be able to get them. Maybe not the last one, right? On your last set, things like that. But there is a level of trying to push yourself, and so that you're pushing as hard as you possibly can in each workout. And we want to be careful because the idea of going to failure can often be overused and misinterpreted. You should not be going to absolute failure in every workout. It's not what they're for. Okay. There's a lot of debate, and there's people in different camps about what failure is for and how to use it and what to do. But I would say in general, there's a lot of different things that our bodies can do. There's a lot of different scenarios and situations that our bodies need to handle physical work. Okay. Work capacity is what it's called. Our body's ability to do things. So we need to train in as many of those as possible. That means sometimes we never go to failure. That means sometimes we never go to full range. Sometimes you go to as full range as possible. Sometimes we go heavy. Sometimes we go light. Sometimes we go short. There's variations, and we need to be able to do all of it.
And there's another, if you're having a day where you're just exhausted and you're like, you're either going to skip the workout or you're like, I don't know if I can do this, go light.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be, like I said earlier, it doesn't always have to be more than last time.
Right.
You have to also know your body, know what you're capable of, and not push it too hard when you don't have it in you to do that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Next week you can go harder.
Well, I was just talking to, so I just did an interview. If you guys know Zane Griggs, go check him out. He just came out with a book called, was it Badass at 50 or something like that?
Something like that.
Kick-Ass at 50. He just came out with a book, wrote a book with Dr. Barry. Go check it out on Amazon. Zane Griggs, just did him earlier today. And we were talking about the habit is more important than the action. So if you're going through a phase in life where you got a ton of stuff going on in your life, to the gym is hard right now with a schedule or who knows whatever else. You got something going at work, you got something going on at home, you're stressed out. Show up, but that doesn't mean you have to do the same level of activity at the gym that you did 2 weeks before.
Yep.
Right?
Show up with the capacity you have in
do some stretching, do some warm up, maybe get on the elliptical for half an hour. Just do something so that time you don't lose that time and the habit of showing up for that time. When that phase of life is over and you can really commit that time to getting back into the mental space, a lot of it is, then you're good. Then you can pick it up and keep going.
Perfect example, ladies. We know sometimes of the month we don't feel it like others. I have been going to yoga instead of doing my weight training. I'm in my building season now. Is very heavy and very intense, and I had to make the call this week and say, you know what? I'm going to go do a restorative yoga class. I told him when I got home. I was like, it was so It was a little too light for me, but I went with it. It was a mental challenge to actually not move my body and flex my muscles. So it gave me a nice
with being chill.
different stimulus or lack of stimulus.
Right, lack of movement.
I
Yes,
know great stuff.
time and attention is good. All right, guys, I got to be honest with you. If we don't get to your question, it's because
There's so
we've got
many.
we've got 6 different platforms going on here, and I don't know if we can keep up with them all. So apologies ahead of time.
This is a good one.
Hold on, I had one that. Hold on, where did it go? Best way to train pull-ups without a bar. This should be quick.
That's
okay. So resistance bands are awesome. TRX is awesome. If you have some kind of suspension training system, you could even set up a TRX to be like a pull-up bar if you need to. But those would be my 2 options. I have videos on my YouTube channel, if you're on there at all, on how to do a resistance band, simulate that movement. There's a lot of pulling stuff you can do. If you anchor the band up high, then you can pull down and do that. So that's probably the easiest thing. TRX bars, TRX suspension system, and resistance bands would be the best way to go.
Bands are super simple too. You can take them anywhere.
If you don't have a pull-up bar, some people don't have a pull-up bar, but they have a barbell and a rack, right? You can put the barbell in the rack, and there's a lot of stuff you can do, self-assisted pull-ups, and there's a lot of pull-up drills and things you can do with the barbell in a rack as well. Those videos are also on my YouTube, so go check those out. All right, what you got?
That was a good one. Natalie says, what do you think about timing protein around workouts? Optimal or meaningless? Not sure what you mean by that, but I'm going to assume you were talking about after getting within that anabolic window. That was bro science. So you have a good 24 hours after your workout to get your protein in. It does not matter when you eat your protein. The only thing I would say is don't eat a big meal right before you train. Your body is going to be trying to digest that, and it's not going to be able to do both things well. So kind of like, they say don't eat right before jumping in the swimming pool. Like, don't eat and then go straight to the gym and be full and uncomfortable and like you're trying to digest.
Yeah, I like to eat at least an hour, if not an hour and a half, 2 hours before. If I'm going to do that. So I like to think of it from, if we're talking about timing, I don't do any of this really on purpose. It's kind of more just whatever happens, right? But if I'm going to look at my day, like, okay, I'm going to eat here, I'm going to work out here, then the biggest thing I try to do is make sure I have enough of a gap in my meal to the workout. That's one thing I do try to focus on. Some things to think, like she was saying, your anabolic window is actually up to 48 hours after you work out. I was going
to say it was either 24 or
48. So if you eat something for your workout, or if you eat something 3 hours after your workout, okay, that's one thing to think about. The other thing to think about, Natalie, is it takes 8 to 12 hours to digest your food. So if you had breakfast and you had enough protein at your breakfast, which everybody should get the most protein for their day in their breakfast, for all the cameras, your first meal of the day should be your highest protein meal of the day. If you're getting enough protein in your first meal of the day, for any time of the day after that, you have enough protein in your body digesting to be there for the muscles when they need it after your workout.
And same goes if you're one of those 4 a.m.ers waking up at the crack of dawn or before dawn, and you're like, I couldn't possibly eat before my workout. Do a fasted workout. Just get a meal in within a couple hours after, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You will be absolutely
You'll have fuel from the night. As long as you didn't fast the day before. If you did like a 24-hour fast, which we don't encourage, then definitely you're going to need to eat something before you work out. But it's all about, and this goes for all timing, meal timing. I mean, it's about when do you have the most to give to your workout? When do you feel best? When do you feel most energetic? When can you give the most to your training?
Okay, I got a bunch of questions on here. I got to answer some of these. Okay.
Let's go.
We're going to go down this list real quick. All right. Filet. I'm 5'2", 117 pounds, 120 to 140 grams of protein a day for over a year. Had a physical, and the doctor said I had low protein on blood test. I don't know what blood test that would be, but I would think that's a good thing
What is low
And I'm not sure what
protein on
low
a blood?
protein means. If you're talking about like a urea or something like, I don't know, because
I don't know what
that's
marker,
protein in the blood. Yeah, I'm not
what
sure
blood
what marker that
marker
is.
are you looking at?
What blood marker are you looking at? But 120 to 140 grams of protein, unless you're having issues with liver function or you're not able to gain muscle, your workouts aren't going well, you're losing your hair, your skin, your skin's got issues, whatever. Like if you're not seeing any symptoms or issues that would indicate low protein, I'm not sure that I
I'm
would worry
really
about
curious
that unless
what blood marker that was. Hopefully you
if you can let us know
reply
what
and let
blood
us
marker that
know.
is. It's kind of hard to answer that question.
Yeah.
What's this one say? I eat mostly carnivore, very carbs. How do I figure out how much protein and fat consume a day? Okay, so we'll just go over this real quick.
Wait, hold on. I think that relates to a question I have.
Okay.
Can you go over protein fat carb ratio? And
Okay.
She's a 55.
Okay, so we got a couple questions here regarding macros, which we'll touch really fast. First thing I'll say, I'll give you guys a website to go to. Actually, I'll tell you first, if you haven't bought my book, go look. I got a whole section in the book that goes over macros and how to figure that out. Okay.
And if you're in my group, I have a masterclass in my group. Carb masterclass. Yeah.
And I've got videos on my YouTube that you can go to that talks about all this stuff too. So there's a ton of content that you guys can get when we talk about this. Okay. First thing to remember is your fat and your carbs, your fat and your protein are not related to each other. So there is no ratio that's going to make everything all of a sudden magic.
Number one, forget about ratios.
Okay.
Get that out of your head.
How much protein does my body need? How much fat does my body need? Whatever those two numbers are, independent of each other, is what you're looking for. Okay. So you got to figure that out for yourself. We recommend at a starting point, and then for you to adjust for each of them individually, 1 gram per pound of lean mass. Okay. So if you weigh 150 pounds and you're 20% body fat, then you have 125 grams of protein, 125 grams of fat. That's what you shoot for the day. Okay. If you go over on your protein, fine, fantastic, not a problem in 90% of the cases. If you stay fine, fantastic, probably not a problem in 90% of the cases. Okay. Going over on the fat is probably going to lead to fat gain. Going under on the protein going to probably lead to difficulty gaining muscle, difficulty with a bunch of other issues. Okay. So hitting those numbers is really a good place to start.
And going too low on fat is where you're going to end up with hair falling out,
or
energy
protein
issues, hormone issues. Yeah. Both of those. I heard this really simply explained by Jen from Delighted to Meet You.
Okay.
Earlier today.
Go check her out. Delighted to Meet You on Instagram.
And
meet MEAT.
Delighted to meet you. I just went on her YouTube, so she should be posting that soon. But loved how she explained this. For her, she said just what we said, but one of your ideal body weight. So if you're a person who maybe you don't know what your body composition is, we always say you want to know that.
Yeah.
But let's say you don't, and you're just going off of, well, this is how much I weigh now, but this is what I'm trying to get to. And you know that where you're trying to get to is a healthy place, not unrealistically low. For example, you can use your ideal body weight. Same thing, 1-to-1 by grams, not by ratios.
Yeah. And our recommendation that you see for macros, it's just a starting point. It's just a starting point. Get there. It may not work for you at that number when you first start.
Track your results.
So you may need more, you may need less, but it's just a starting point. That's why she can say, Rebecca says, start at 1 gram per pound of ideal weight. We say 1 gram per pound of
lean
body mass. Craig and Maria say 0.9 to 0.1 gram per pound of body weight. I mean, everyone's got a different.
And I like the 1 gram per pound of body weight. I mean, that works.
That's true. That's more than what most people probably need.
And really, it all depends on where you're at. For my leaner individuals, I usually go with the 1 gram per pound of body weight. they're already at their ideal body weight, or they're under and they're trying to put
more
weight on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
What
here.
else we got?
I got ones here. Any advice for people who eat mostly chicken and eggs? All right. Any advice for people who eat mostly chicken and eggs, and the main source is cheaper here in Brazil, and I love eggs. Okay. Eggs all day.
Glad you're doing whole eggs. If
Do
you were doing
all the
chicken and egg
eggs.
whites, I'd say we'd have a real problem.
Yeah, all eggs all day. If you want to save your money and don't even waste your time on the chicken, just eat eggs all day. Have a blast. How about that?
Okay.
How about them eggs?
If you're eating the whole chicken with the skin, with the thighs, with the dark meat, with the white meat,
with the organs, that's
going to be better than just the chicken breast, for example.
Yeah.
But
Chicken's at the bottom.
is pretty nutritionally void in terms of meat options.
But if it's all you got, and like she said, you're doing all as much of the whole chicken as possible, and you're pairing it with a bunch of eggs, I think you're probably doing pretty good. I think you're probably okay.
Yeah. And then if you can sprinkle in some other stuff, I mean,
I
don't know about Brazil because it's different everywhere, but like canned fish, mackerel, sardines.
Yeah, seafood
those
is fantastic.
Are some of the most
Oysters.
nutrient-dense things you can get, and they're usually on the cheaper side.
Yeah. Dr. Cybus's post the other day. Dr. Cybus, if you guys don't know Dr. Cybus,
he's coming to our conference.
He's coming to our conference in July, which we're super thankful for. Carb Addiction Doc on Instagram. Go check him out. He had a post the other day that showed some smoked oysters in cans that were super cheap. And he basically said, don't tell me this carnivore is expensive. If you think it is, you're just not poor enough.
No, right? He said, don't tell me you don't want to eat
these. You don't want to eat. Yeah. Don't tell me you don't like oysters. That's what it was.
Or you won't eat this because it's gross. If so, you're not poor enough.
You're not poor enough because it's the most cheap. And it's super nutritious. Yep. Okay. That's a great question. Thank you, Andre. Let's see. People saying hi to each other.
Let me check my Facebook.
What's your on stevia, erythritol, keto sweeteners? We talked about that a little bit a little bit earlier. Oh. Okay. First of all, erythritol, bleh, okay. Yeah. In general, don't like it.
Malitol, sorbitol, all the alls, all the alcohols, the sugar alcohols are going to be at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal, guys. And this is the crux of the entire conversation. Okay. If your goal is improving your health, metabolic function, and quality of life, then you have to decide everything that I put in my body, is it helping me get there or not? Okay. Artificial sweeteners are at a minimum a net zero for your total health. On the worst end, they are a net negative, and net negative in a big way. Okay. So if you're trying to optimize your process, be efficient, have as much success, sustainability, and longevity in doing things to help your health over time as you get older, when you need it the most, then no, they are not helping you get healthy. I'm not going to tell you they're making you sick, but I'm going to tell you they're not helping you get healthy. And that's more important.
Yeah. And if we're looking at a hierarchy here, I would say stevia and monk fruit in a liquid form as an extra, not the granulated ones.
Everybody's asking about stevia.
All of the granulated ones, including the stevia, look at the guarantee you it has erythritol added or dextrin or dextrose added.
Yeah.
They add those things because they cannot get the stevia leaf or the monk fruit into a granulated powdered form without adding something to it.
Right.
So the only ones I keep here in our house are the liquid extract from the stevia leaf or the monk fruit.
Yep.
That is it. And with those, you only need to use a few drops to get the same effect as you would with a packet of that granulated stuff,
which has all the other stuff in it.
It's going to have the least negative.
So I hope that answers your question. MLD 30.
On the behavioral and the mental side, what is it doing for you? Why are you you reaching for the sweetener?
Yeah.
Why do you want to keep things with the sweetener in your life? What happens when you have it? Because some people can handle a little bit, and it's no big deal. Other people, it's going to send you into a frenzy. You're going to have cravings all the time. If you've been on this life for a while and you're still dealing with cravings and you've never cut out the sweeteners entirely, I highly encourage you. I like to challenge you to do my 4-day or 7-day zero sweet challenge. Take anything sweet tasting out of your mouth, including.
When she does that, she can't even kiss me.
Sweeteners in your water. Because he's so sweet.
Oh my God.
You're not sweet, you're rugged.
I'm rugged. Rugged's not a flavor. Right?
Move
on. Question. Another question. This one's from my YouTube. For someone short in time, do you coaches believe a HIT approach, one set to failure? Yeah. Mike Mentor, Arthur Jones, HIT for productive. Yes, absolutely, 110%. So high intensity training, which was popularized by Arthur Jones and Mike Mentor, is very successful and shows a lot of proven success at growing muscle and building strength. I think it can be a tool. It is a great tool for someone, particularly people who are short on time. They only have half an hour or 2 or 3 times a week to hit something. It's a fantastic thing. I do believe there are some shortcomings with it when it comes to variety, range of what we talked about earlier. The body does a lot of things. And if all you're doing is HIT training just 2 or 3 days a week to build muscle in specific movements and muscle groups, you're missing a whole host of things that go into overall total fitness. So yes, it is a tool that it can be very effective. I think you should mix it in with other things as much as possible.
And for those who are unfamiliar, HIT should not be confused with HIIT.
Yeah.
They are two very different things.
Yeah. High intensity interval training is a different concept, and it's more about the scheme and how you design a workout and what you get out of it than the actual muscle activation properties that HIT, high intensity training, is all about. One is more strength training, the other one's more metabolic conditioning.
Cardio.
All right. This is an interesting one. I'm going to say blood test. Last week, after being carnivore for 4 years, I was rejected from giving blood because my hemoglobin was low. I mainly eat about 2 pounds of red meat and eggs, 65 years old, 160 pounds. Okay. So if you're 6 feet and 165, I would say you're probably very lean and you could put on another 10 to 15 pounds. Outside of that, I'd go get a blood test right away and see what you could have going on. I mean, low hemoglobin, that's what, low iron probably?
Probably, or it could have something to do with, oh my gosh, immunoglobulins. Well, no, those are a little bit different, but it could be a number of things.
It could be a number of things. So
I would say, the rest of your blood work look?
Yeah, I mean that they did a blood test for that. I'm sure they didn't do a full panel before you gave blood. So I would recommend go get a blood test, talk to your doctor, have them look at it and see if there's anything off that may have caused a low hemoglobin. I doubt it's specifically nutrition related. If you seem like you're getting enough of whatever, I'd be interested to find out what you get out of it.
I would definitely go get a full blood workup.
A full panel. Yep.
All right, we got some answers on the low total protein on comprehensive metabolic panel.
Low total protein.
Low red blood count.
Similar thing to PC, the last question. What else was going on in your blood work there? There's got to be some indicators of what there could be, what could be going on. It doesn't sound like anything I've heard of that's diet related specifically, but everybody's different. There could be something going on that I don't know your whole history.
And I don't know who you did your blood work with, but you should always get blood work done with a practitioner that can explain to you what that means.
Yeah.
So, I work with a functional medicine practitioner. I encourage people to do that. A lot of the time when you go to your traditional allopathic medical doctors, they'll run the blood work, they give you the results. And unless it's something that's indicating that they are going to give you a pharmaceutical or they need to do some sort of surgery,
or that they'll get in trouble if they don't say something,
then they can only do what they're trained to do. So I would take that blood work to a functional physician and have them analyze it and give you their thoughts on the numbers that they're seeing, and they can explain to you what that is too.
Or what it's connected to. That's one of the differences between a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Allopathic doctors. Thank you. The difference between a lot of allopathic doctors and a lot of functional doctors is the allopathic doctors, they'll see it and they'll know what to prescribe to reverse that number, but they won't be able to tell you what lifestyle factor, what other numbers to look at that may be playing a role, what minerals or what environmental factors may be going. Like, they have no idea any of that stuff. So, they're looking at this and what do I prescribe? Whereas a functional medicine doctor is going to be like looking at this and then what is your environment? What are you doing? What are you eating? What being exposed to? There's a lot of other factors that they look at that can be way more beneficial than any prescription.
And we need to be the ones that are in control of this journey with our doctors. So for instance, even with my functional doctor, there may be lab numbers that he's not concerned about. So he doesn't say anything about them.
Yeah.
And then I see them and I'm like, I want to know what this means. I want to understand what it means to be above or below this range, even if it's by a small amount and he's not concerned. If I'm curious about something, I'm going to ask him. So ask your doctor to explain, what does this blood marker mean? What is it doing in my body? How does this affect other things? You are fully within your right to ask for all of that information.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says, I was referred to a GI doctor, but can't get in for 2 months. So
yeah,
GI doctor may not be.
Well, but that may be a good thing too, because there's something digestively where you're eating the protein, but your body's not
assimilating it.
Right. So I would say keep researching until you find something, but there's definitely something going on that,
Michelle says Dr. Barry's book, Common Sense Labs, may be a good tool as well.
Yes. For anybody who's looking at lab work, if you didn't know Kim Howerton, the ketonist, go check her out. And Dr. Barry, I don't need to tell you where to go everywhere. Okay. They did a book. I think it came out late last year or early this year, late last year. It's an ebook. Get online. I think it's called Essential Labs or something like that.
Which one?
The one that they had to do with the labs. Common Sense Labs. So Common Sense Labs, you can get it, I think, on Kim Howerton's website. It's an ebook. I think it's $24, where they break down all the labs that they recommend, all the, a lot of what they do, what they're for, like all that kind of stuff. So take a look at that. All right, let's see what other questions we got. I think we're good on questions from my end.
Okay, I got some up here.
Do I have any? We got some comments about conventional docs. We asked about stevia.
Okay, Kaya says, I can't stand drinking ACV anymore. That's apple cider vinegar. Used to take it, but got burnt out. What milligrams should I take in the morning to help increase stomach acid? Like, what's the equivalent liquid versus milligram capsules? Okay. First, let me back up and say,
that's all her.
Not everyone is going to need ACV. If you think you have low stomach acid, and we have a video about this with a little home test you can do to test it out. It's not scientifically based.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but it's not.
It's like a homeschool. It's like a homeschool science project.
It is. It's not going to give
science in a box.
It's not going to give you a diagnosis. So if you're looking for an actual diagnosis, you're going to have to go to your doctor and have a test done for hypochlorhydria, which is low stomach acid.
Which you have.
Which I do have diagnosis. And so we did the home test to see what would happen with me because we already knew what my status was. And true to form, home test.
I burped.
It's a baking soda test. You drink baking soda and water, and then you wait to see how long it takes to burp. If you don't burp, it's a good sign that you have low stomach acid. Yeah. So I did not burp at all. He burped like immediately.
It was like a minute and a half. It was like you have 2 minutes to burp, and I was like a minute and a half.
No, I think it was shorter than that.
Shorter than that?
I think it was like 30 seconds.
You told me a minute, man.
I can't.
What is wrong with you? In public? Jeez. See what I could deal with? Okay, sorry.
Oh boy. Okay, so if you do suspect that you have stomach acid, I usually start by recommending.
You're all flustered.
I know. See what this guy does to me.
Oh my goodness.
I I recommend starting with apple cider vinegar before you go to anything heavier like hydrochloric acid, betaine HCl, which is something that you can get over the counter, but it's it's actual acid in a capsule. So I usually start with apple cider vinegar. Now, typically what I would recommend, morning can sometimes be harsh on your stomach when you don't have anything else in your stomach yet. Traditionally, your stomach acid should actually be the highest at the beginning of the day before you've consumed food. As you start to break down food throughout the day, if you already are not producing enough, it can be even lower and lower throughout the day because it's doing its job, or it's trying to do its job and there's not enough of it. So I would recommend not even doing it as a shot in the morning, but with your meals. So with a meal, let's say right before you have your meal, I like to just take a little shot glass and I just pour a splash in. I don't even measure it out. So I can't tell you exactly how many milligrams or milliliters to take. I just do maybe the equivalent of a tablespoon in a shot glass. I fill the shot glass up with water, pour in some element because salt is also your friend for increasing stomach acid naturally. So I'll put a little bit of my element electrolytes in there as well, and then I'll meal. So try that first, and you don't really have to worry about how much it is. Just don't drink out of the bottle. You don't take ounces of it, but a splash should do the trick. And see if it helps with any symptoms you may feel after that meal. If you feel super bloated or uncomfortable, or it takes you a really long time to digest.
Awesome. Hey, just wanted to say hi to Charles Maddox on my Instagram. Charles is the producer, the executive producer of the Reversed TV series that I was blessed to be part of earlier this year. That's coming out in a couple weeks. So if you guys have not heard of the Reversed TV series, Charles started this a few years ago with doing a series on how to reverse diabetes with whole food and lifestyle changes. And fantastic. They did a second season that was keto based. That's Maria Emmerich and Dr. Barry and a bunch of other people got involved. Then we had a year off, right, because of the pandemic and everything, maybe 1 or 2 years. And then we went to Costa Rica and filmed Reversed, the carnivore season. So it's coming out in a couple weeks. I believe the first episodes are going to be on Dr. Barry's YouTube. So go, if you're not subscribed to Dr. Barry's YouTube, go to Dr. Ken Barry on YouTube, subscribe, click the notification button so that you're notified as soon as it premieres. I think we're doing a premiere. It's not just going to show up one day. I think it's a premiere. So if we do it as the premiere, Charles, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Those of us that can, if there's any way for Dr. Barry to have it so we can comment and stuff, I will be live. I'll be in the comments. Awesome. I'm hoping other people that were experts on the show will be live and be able to comment and stuff while it's premiering. So that will be fantastic. Not only will you get to watch the first episode on YouTube at Dr. Barry's channel, but we'll be chatting. So we can chat about stuff that happened in the show and answer questions, whatever you want to do. It's going to be fantastic. So thanks for hopping on, Charles. Appreciate it, man. All right. Any last questions? It's been about an hour.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
I know.
We should do this more often together. It's like we should have our own channel or something.
Oh my gosh, we have some stuff we got to talk about.
We want to leave. Okay, talk about all of this stuff. We got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, this is where we start talking about all of the things that are going on if you want to participate in things that we have happening. There's a lot of stuff happening. Where do you want to start?
We got to start with antithetic.
Antithetic. Okay. July.
Wait. Chronologically, we should start with the low carb cruise.
Do we want to talk about our programs?
Oh, we're doing that too. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. We got a lot of stuff.
All right.
You go first.
Programs first.
You go first.
I just launched a membership, $29 a month, and it is all about community. It is called the Grace and Grind membership. It is for ladies only. So sorry, gentlemen, but you can holler at this one right here because he's got stuff for you. Inside the membership right now, it is all about community support and accountability. You can jump into my app to track your own stuff without coaching. You can join the private group text inside the app and private group calls on Zoom like this once a week. And then I will be adding on some training options and nutrition options in the future.
In the future. Awesome. And while she's launching that, I'm launching a new boot camp. It's a monthly subscription that is going to combine all of the great things that people love from challenges, group challenges, the accountability, the community, the meetings, the engagement, talking with other people and getting to know other people that are doing the same thing you're doing, as well as the one-on-one interaction and results that you get from personal one-on-one coaching. So having a coach who will work with you on your goals, helping you track your progress, giving you individual specific feedback, weekly communication on your progress specifically. All of that stuff combined into one program, and it's ongoing. So you can join anytime. You can stay in as long as you want. Hopefully you stay in for a long time because I want you to have continued sustainable success. It's starting May 21st is when registration opens. It might open sooner, so keep your eyes out. I've got, oh, by the way, this is a little different than any other program I'm running, okay, or I have ever run outside of when I owned the gym. When I owned the gym, I had coaches, so it's different. Virtual program.
I got one of your coaches right here.
Hey, one of my coaches is on her side. Why is she on your side and not on my side?
She likes me better. She said we need our own channel.
We do need our own channel. Oh boy! Thank you for giving us more to do, Michelle.
Didn't we have? We do.
Wait, is my mom on your thing too? Is that my mom?
No, that was from messaging with her privately.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're talking to my mom privately? What are you talking about? Okay.
I got all his ladies in my corner.
My whole life is over here. But that's not a lie either. Okay, what was I saying?
About your program.
Oh,
why it's
different. This one's different because I actually have coaches. So I hired a couple coaches. We got some coaches that are coming on to help me work with you guys because I want to make sure that everybody that joins the boot camp gets as much personal attention as possible, as well as keeps that group engagement, builds that family. We want to create a tribe, and it's going to be freaking fantastic. So check it out. Go to my website. If you haven't noticed any of my stuff, guys, recently, I've completed. So Ultimate Ketogenic Fitness is no longer, it is no longer. That is my book and that is it. My brand, and the way you can get a hold of me now is Coach Bronson. Coach.Bronson on Facebook, on Instagram. CoachBronson.com is the new website. Go check it out. It's all brand new. I love it. I want to say thank you to Celeste Keto Marketing Company, Keto Marketing Co. on Instagram for doing my rebrand. It is fire. I absolutely love it. So that's what's going on business-wise for us as events.
Okay. We are both speaking on the low carb cruise in just 3 weeks.
I just finished my presentation today.
He's an overachiever. He has to do everything first. Except I launched my membership first.
You did.
Wait, you already had one, so never mind. Anyways, we are both speaking. He'll be teaching some workshops.
Yes, we're doing some movement workshops on the cruise.
Yep. And that's it. We'll be sailing the seas.
Sailing the Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico. The Mexican Gulf.
Okay. So that'll be first 10 days of June.
Yep.
And then
the middle of July.
The biggest news of the year.
The biggest.
Antithetic
Baltimore
is happening July 14th, 15th. Right down the street from us. You can come hang with us and some of our
not at our house though.
Maybe VIPs.
We got the
terrace.
Oh,
VIP after party.
We should do.
Oh, stop it. Okay. Tell them who we have.
I gotta go with this. Okay. If anybody's interested in coming
we are not
to
making any promises.
Baltimore, I'm curious to know who might be in a VIP hangout at our place. It would be, if we did it, it would be like 5 people max.
People to know where we
5 people max. We could deck out the terrace.
You're really just saying this
live. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm curious to know if everyone's like, nobody, who cares? Like, I don't know, whatever, then whatever. But if we get like 50 people that are like, yeah, we want to do it, not all 50 of you are going to come, but
$10,000 a person.
Tommy Burke is on. What's up, Tommy?
Okay, so antithetic.
Antithetic.
What
July.
is antithetic about?
What is antithetic is about embracing our differences, knowing that the way that we do things is a little different and it works.
And owning it.
Own it. Own it, live it, be different, do different. You got to do things differently if you want to be different. We can't do things the way everyone else is doing them. Otherwise, we'll be just like everyone else, sick and unhappy. So that's what we don't want. The other thing it's about is about growing a tribe of other people, building that community and building an army to go out and change the world.
Antithetic army.
Let people know that it's okay to try things differently because they can be better, they can live better, and they can live longer and happier lives just by changing simple things and doing things differently. So,
oh, my girls want to get in on the after party. Tori said Google already knows where we live.
Oh my God. I think that we got to talk. We got hands raised already. Oh my God. What did you do?
You did it.
You said it.
You were the one.
You said it first. Okay.
Oh my goodness. What are we getting ourselves into?
Wow.
Okay.
So that's
who do we have on the lineup?
We have. Are you guys ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this. We have Maria Emmerich.
Opening it up.
We have Dr. Sivis. We have Dr. Stephen Hussey. We have Kim Howerton. We have Amy Berger. We have Jocelyn Riley. We have my mom.
Your mom.
Who is a supermodel. If you guys have seen my Instagram post for today,
so
my mom
cute.
is a sports model, and you all need to encourage her to do more of it. The last thing we have is we have Dr. Barry doing a live Zoom. We have to apologize because initially he was going to be there.
However,
and then he was reminded by his wonderful wife,
it
Nisha,
may be his baby's birthday.
His daughter's one-year birthday is that weekend.
We can't compete with that.
We can't compete with that. So, but he is going to do a live Zoom question and answer session on the big screen while we're there. So that will happen. So he'll still be part of it.
Maria went into the party too.
We got. All
All
right, we only got 2 more spots open, guys. She's freaking out right now. She is freaking out right now.
We're cleaning this place from top to bottom.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're going to be on. You're going to be in rubber gloves for like a week.
Oh, I am. No, you offered it, so this is going to be a team effort.
We're going to hire somebody to come in and clean. Okay. So that's July 14th to 15th. What's happening after that?
After that is
we were going to be speaking in Vegas.
He's speaking
in Vegas.
Yep.
That's our only second time there. It'll have been 3 years though.
No, 2 years.
Well, 3 events, right? Not the first time, the one we missed, and then this year. So 2 years, but 3 events because the second one didn't happen. They canceled it.
The second time we'll be in Vegas for
because
Keto
we skipped a year though because we skipped a year because it was supposed to be.
They didn't do one last year, right?
So they skipped a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's where we met. So that will be our 2nd year anniversary.
It's not the end of
well, it's like a month.
It's earlier.
Like a month ahead.
Right. But then on our actual anniversary.
Is that our actual? It is our actual anniversary.
We are hosting our 2nd annual.
We got to put that on the website. It's our anniversary. We got to put that on the
Celebrate
website.
with us.
Celebrate our anniversary with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to come celebrate our anniversary in Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains, in a off the mountainside cabin?
It's a bougie cabin.
Bougie cabin, very bougie. Lots of wood. Lots of wood. That was the one thing we noticed. Lots of wood.
Hot tub, right?
Hot tub, mountain view.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Pool table, foosball table.
Great kitchen and
huge kitchen, which we're going to have a private chef cooking food for us there.
You may or may not have heard of our friend Courtney Luna. It's Courtney Luna on Instagram.
Yep, go check her out.
Amazing stuff. She just sent us over the menu to look at, so we'll be taking a look at that. That is October 12th through the 15th.
15th, yep.
Thursday through Sunday. And all the information just went live on the website. So
KetoFitLiving.com. Go check it out. All the links for all this stuff will be in the description of this video. So wherever you're watching this, because we got what, 2 Instagrams, 2 YouTubes, 2 Facebooks, right?
yeah,
One
YouTube.
One YouTube. Oh, you're not on YouTube?
No,
oh, you're on. Okay, you're on Zoom over here.
I'm on Zoom and Facebook.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to make sure all of this information is everywhere so everyone can see it.
Yeah, Tori says we need an easy schedule. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm going to post in the
For
group for sure, just like the list of things for the year.
Fantastic. All right, thank you everybody for being on and joining us. We absolutely appreciate you spending your evening with us. And I don't know if I'll have her on next time, but I'll be back next Tuesday.
Maybe once a month we can do this together.
Or what if we turn the other thing into a YouTube instead of a podcast?
You mean less glove, more fists?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then we don't have to curate.
I don't
have to curate. We just go live all the time and don't have to curate that.
Yeah, we can do that. So we do have a YouTube together. It is called Less Glove,
More Fists. Go check it out.
The name of our former podcast, which we no longer have.
We still have it. We just don't do any.
Yes. But we can certainly do that as our
and
YouTube.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will coordinate on that.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. See you guys. Thank you very much.
See y'all next time, whenever that is.
Ending.
Bye, ladies.